Financial scams are becoming more common and are more convincing. A new survey from Bankrate finds that 40% of Americans experienced some type of financial fraud or scam in the past year alone. And experts say artificial intelligence is making it harder than ever to spot the fakes.
Joining us now with what to look out for and ways to protect yourself is Bankrate principal analyst Ted Rossman. So great to see you once again, Ted.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So these numbers are a bit alarming. 4 in 10 Americans say they've experienced some form of fraud or scam in just the past year. So why is there such a huge increase, I guess?
Technology is really behind a lot of this. You might remember there was that early 20th century bank robber, Willie Sutton, and people said, why do you rob banks? And he said, that's where the money is. Well, now online is where most of the fraud is. It's not in the bank branch as much, but online is kind of the new Wild West for fraud. We see a lot of opportunities, unfortunately, for fraudsters to steal your credit or debit number. A lot of times, too, they're using AI to get you to trust them. So maybe they're posing as some government agency, Social Security, IRS, someone like that. They're asking for sensitive info. They're asking for money. Gift cards are a red flag. If somebody or some organization wants you to pay with a gift card unsolicited, that can be a problem. Sending money you don't know to people you don't know on Venmo and Zelle and things like that. These services are just harder to trace and reverse. It's fine to pay a friend back for pizza on Venmo, but don't send it to somebody that you don't know.
But how do you know whether or not it's AI? Because it really is hard to differentiate what's real and what's AI sometimes.
I know, it's sneaky. Yeah, sometimes they try to know things about you, and maybe they even say like a family member's in trouble, or they say like, hey, it's the boss. Maybe they fill in the blank, like it's your manager, so-and-so, like I need you to buy some gift cards for a company outing and send me the numbers. And some of these things, it just starts to sound a little bit fishy, like people who want to be paid immediately, people who want to be paid by gift card, Venmo, Zelle. These are all less traceable kind of things. So using a credit card is actually more of a gold standard for fraud prevention than something like a peer-to-peer service or a gift card. So that could be a red flag. If it's an email or a text message with misspellings, or if you hover over that web address and it's kind of weird gobbledygook characters, these are all some indications. People are posing as government agencies. They're posing as retailers, like, hey, there's a problem with your delivery. Call a number that you trust. If you're trying to reach your bank, call the number on the back of your debit card. Don't call whatever number or respond to whatever email lands in your inbox, because it might not be who they say they are.
Yeah, call the number that you know is legit. Reach out to the contact that you know is legit, right?
You know, a lot of
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be afraid to trust but verify, because there's a lot of these scams going around.
Yeah.
Like people are posing as Amazon, they're posing as the IRS, your bank. It's not always who they say they are. And also realize that a lot of these reputable organizations are not going to just send you a text message out of the blue. They're going to communicate through different means. The IRS almost always initiates communication via snail mail. They're not going to text you and ask for a gift card payment in the next 2 hours.
Okay. So it'll definitely be snail mail.
Yeah, really. You know, a lot of people, though, are getting these things and saying, well, I would never fall for it. You know, I know better than that. But scammers are clearly getting better at kind of hiding what they're really up to, creating panic and urgency here. So what are some of the most common tactics that you're seeing and how they're pulling it off?
Well, that's another one of the red flags, is some sort of artificial sense of urgency. Like if something needs to happen right away, and if it needs to happen through some of these less traceable payment methods like gift cards and peer-to-peer services, those are potential red flags. We're seeing social media scams as well. Sometimes you click through to a website that's not really legit. Maybe it's looking and feeling kind of similar, but it's not quite right. You might want to type in the web address as opposed to just following, because sometimes there's scams there too. It's some clearance or going out of business sale, and it's some tremendous discount. But you again want to verify through independent means. We can't believe everything we read online. Sometimes there are suspicious links. They take you to kind of a skin of a website that looks like the real thing, but it's not. So you want to verify through independent means. Calling a number you trust, typing in a web address that you trust, just trying to be smart about things like that. And also paying with credit is usually better than paying with debit or gift cards or peer-to-peer, because credit cards have more built-in fraud protections.
Okay, so let's say it's already too late. We've been scammed. What do we do to minimize the damage?
You want to contact your bank or credit card company, wherever the fraud was. If it was payment fraud, if your card was charged illicitly, let the bank know, get that reported. Hopefully you can get that charge wiped off. If it's an account that's made in your name that doesn't belong to you, you want to call up that financial institution, tell them what happened. You might want to consider filing a report with the Federal Trade Commission. It's really more for record keeping than for anything else. For really serious cases, you might want to contact the police. But for the most part, this is more of a financial thing. I'm also a huge fan of freezing your credit. This is something you do with the credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. A credit freeze will basically lock fraudsters out of creating new accounts. So they can't spin up a fake credit card or auto loan in your name. Credit freezes are free. They're easy to implement. Contact those credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. You can do it online or over the phone. It's a good way to lock the bad guys out.
Yeah, good advice.
All good advice. Yeah, Ted, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Of course. Thank you. You too.
All right.